Thank you, ladies and guys. How are you tonight? Pretty good? Great. I'm glad you're all in a good mood, because I heard some pretty sad news before I came out. You all know Hugh Hefner was supposed to get married Saturday, called off the wedding. Yeah, well, he had a good reason, found out the girl posed nude. So, no, he is getting married, although I think he's rushing it. The man is barely in his 60s, and I said, sow some wild oats. Date around a little bit. Go out with a few different girls. But you know, these guys are married, these stunning women. They say it's not the reason. Remember, Billy Joel had that song, "I love you just the way you are." And he dumped his wife and married Christy Brinkley. You know. Don't go changing as long as you're perfect, but it's lies. Showbiz is all lies out here. Everybody lies all the time. I do it. We all do it. You don't even know where it ends. Like, this is true. I was on the phone the other day with somebody, and I said, oh, geez, I can't do that. I got to get up early tomorrow morning, you know. And I hung up, and I realized I did have to get up early tomorrow morning. I got caught in the truth. I had to call back. I'm sorry. I was telling the truth, you know. Or you ever do this? You ever arrange something with somebody because they call you, want to do something, and you don't really want to do it, but you don't want to say no, and it's months in advance, and you say yes, then it comes, oh, there it is, ice fishing with Ernest Borgnine. Why did I say yes to that? And say, my parents' generation, now they're corny, but they certainly were more straight about things, but they are corny. You know, I always visit my father in the summer because I like to get a look at that summer man's wardrobe he pulls out. He is plaid to be alive. Oh, boy. Jackets that could jam enemy radar. You know, but they had value. They know that generation, you know, because they had tests. They fought through things. They fought through the Depression. They fought through the war. And then he'd always look at me like, what did you do? I finally said, Dad, I would have gone to Vietnam, but I had Little League. For he never let us forget. Whenever we would complain, you know, he'd always lecture us on the Depression. And I didn't know what he was talking about. I was like 5. He'd go, you know, in the 30s, the whole country was in a depression. And I'd be thinking, wow, a whole country staying in bed watching TV all day. Other countries coming by to cheer us up, you know. What are you depressed about? You're an attractive country. You're well-liked around the world. Get some light in here. But, yeah, once they fought through that, you know, they could never lose that mentality. No matter how well we were doing, my father, we could never waste food in my house. We'd have to eat all the food. And he would try to trick us. You know, he'd come into the kitchen, he'd say things like, you know, kids, the black banana's the best one. We'd go, okay, you eat it. Here's a straw. It's a little mushy at this point. Oh, sorry, I made fun of a black banana. Make fun of a healthy banana, okay, but no. But, the man was cheap. We used to send it, when we had to have a checkup medically, we would go to the health mobile. That's a feeling of security, to be examined by a guy who can commit malpractice and drive away. You know, what do I do, chase him in the lawyer mobile at that point? Because, you know, a health mobile does attract the best doctors. Because a doctor wants to be able to say things like, check the x-rays and fill it with unleaded. You know. I asked this doctor one time what my blood type was. He said AB. I said, positive? He said, I'm pretty sure. So. But, no, I kid my father, but, you know, he was understanding about it. Like when I went through puberty, he was very understanding. Remember, he took me aside at one point and he said, look, it's normal for someone your age to be experimenting sexually with their body, but not at dinner, okay? They're clueless about sex when your problems. I mean, my father, he still uses phrases from the 30s. You know, he said things like, why don't you bring around your best girl? That's something you say to a pimp, isn't it? I mean... Or my favorite, she's a lovely creature. How is that a compliment under any interpretation? Thanks, Ed. We met in the Black Lagoon, you know, and it's... They just don't think, you know, because they're so removed from it. I remember when I wasn't even pubic. I was about 10 or something, and my mother said to me, well, I asked her why the girls' bicycle didn't have the bar across the top, you know, and the boys did. And she said, well, if a girl slipped off the seat, she could hurt herself. Thanks. What do I have, air between my legs? Nothing there that I was... I walked out of the house with confidence that day. Boy. Hi, girls, I'm a hologram. What do you think? Oh, if it was only that innocent still, you know. Boy, I mean, I heard Jay talking about ethics. I mean, really, where is this country going? I mean, do you realize that the only difference between Jimmy Swaggart, a minister, and Rob Lowe is that Rob likes to bring a camera to the party? I mean, Jimmy Swaggart, he's a minister. He's supposed to be able to judge people. He can't even judge Rob Lowe. He can't get up there and go, you know, I read about this actor. What he did, not that bad. Really? When you think about it. I was reading about the Oliver North trial. Now, here's a case where they had to find a jury of 12 people who never heard of Oliver North. And a jury is supposed to be wise? I mean... If you ran into a guy at a party, he said he'd never heard of Oliver North, you'd go, what, do you live in a cave, man? What, do you take a guide dog past the newsstand? Come on. But you want to bet that every one of those 12 people who never heard of Oliver North, somehow they all could sing every word to the Beverly Hillbillies theme song? Plus, you know, if they want to find 12 people who never heard of Oliver North, why not just start with Reagan and Bush?